and thanks for joining me. I'm Tanya from Platypi Designs, and today we're going to be talking about what affects your search engine rank when you do a search in Google. And we're going to actually specifically talk about a couple of different items that you may want to watch out for on your current website. We are finding that Google search rankings and where people are ranking in the results is starting to change. Based on two very specific things, one being mobile friendliness and the other one being having your website behind an SSL. And I will get more into that in a second. I'm just going to quickly do a search and show you what I mean by search engine results. So essentially I'm in Google, I've done a search for website design Guelph, and the first thing that comes up is a map. And then a little bit further down, you can start to see that I have organic search ranking. As it turns out, I actually have position number 2 for these keywords, which is great. However, if I don't do certain things with my website, I know that I'm actually going to lose this ranking over time. And so I'm going to share with you the couple of things that I need or needed to do. I've done one and haven't done the other yet in order to be able to keep higher in my ranking. I can never just guarantee that I'm always going to be number 1 or number 2. However, if your website is not mobile friendly and if your website is not behind an SSL, it is almost guaranteed that your website will drop in search engine rank. So these are two things that I wanted to show you. I'm going to quickly go to my website. I'm in a Firefox browser and I've got my website up and running. You can see that I've got some navigation and then I've got some content a little bit further down. So in order to test if your website's mobile friendly, the easiest way to do that is by going into your browser and then minimize, maximize your screen and then drag and drop or drag your browser window and see what it does. So what you can see is that once we're at a certain width, it will resize itself and give me a navigation. Once I get too small, I eventually will go to a website that folds its content underneath and reorganizes itself, and it'll give me a little navigation button in the top right hand corner. If you find that your website is not doing this, and let's say if you're on a mobile device and you're using your fingers to zoom in and zoom out, there's a good chance that your website is not mobile friendly, and that is something to talk to your developer about to see what are the options. Is it necessary? It is starting to become necessary, so you obviously don't want to lose search engine ranking if you can avoid it. So, and it is definitely starting to affect some websites that I have been watching, so I wanted to at least let you know that that's happening. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the SSL part of things. So an SSL is called a secure socket layer. I'm not going to get into the technical term or into the technical stuff about it. However, I can quickly show you what you need to be watching out for. Browsers are starting to actually give you more information. So in the top right hand corner or left hand corner of this Firefox browser, you'll notice that I have a little eye. If I click on it, you can start to see that it tells me that my connection is not secure. And this is actually true. I am going to be putting it behind an SSL this week. So this message will turn green later on this week. So that's a good thing. In contrast, if I show you what Google's site looks like, if I click on the little icon, you'll notice that I have secure connection and it gives me a little green lock. As well, you'll want to take notice of the path. And it says HTTPS. The S means secure. So shopping carts were using this well in the past for a very long time. Now Google is actually starting to require that all websites have this, and they will drop your organic ranking if you do not have this in the near future. So the easiest way to tell if you do or do not have an SSL is, well, one, you can contact your developer, or two, you can bring your website up in a browser, copy the website address either by Control-C or Control-V, open up a new tab, paste it in, and then take a look at what the path says. You'll notice that mine says HTTP. Later on this week it'll say HTTPS, but for the time being it's HTTP, which means it is not secure. You may have already experienced what browsers will do when there is no secure connection. Messages like this will show up more often on WordPress websites, on login pages. So you'll start to see notifications come up. This is only happening on WordPress notification pages. However, come October 2017, it is rumored that anytime a user will interact with your website or type anything in, a notification like that will come up. So as an example, if my website was not behind an SSL come October 2017, if someone interacted and typed in information into the form, there's a good chance that a notification will actually come up on these form fields. So let alone that it's actually affecting your website down the road, it will affect your Google search rank if you are not behind an SSL. So these are things to keep in mind as you move forward with your website. If you have found this helpful, feel free to share this with a friend. If you guys have any questions about this, by all means give me a shout, and I hope to be able to provide you with answers.